President Harry S. Truman's conflict, to drop or not to drop.
Thesis. Because Japan refused to surrender from World War II, the United States of America and President Harry S. Truman made the secretive and significant decision to drop an atomic bomb over Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Please, put me through to the Vice President.
Who may I be speaking to?
Mr. Vice President, this is Henry Stimson.
How may I help you, Henry?
Mr. Roosevelt was complaining about terrific pain in the back of his head, and he suddenly collapsed.
I'm sorry to hear this. How can I help?
A doctor immediately recognized the symptoms of a massive cerebral hemorrhage. I'm sorry to report, it was all in vain.
My God.
Well, as soon as the First Lady was notified, he was taken to Georgia. Sadly, by 3:30, the President was announced dead. I am calling to inform you that you are now President of the United States.
Am I up for this task?
Certainly, Mr. President. May I please come by your office earlier tomorrow to discuss some important issues with you?
Certainly. Thank you, Henry.
Mr. President.
Good morning, Henry. I have very great respect for your dedication to the United States and our government. So, Henry, what's the situation?
Mr. President, there are some very important issues we must discuss regarding World War II.
What's our next plan?
Here's a copy of the memorandum explaining our plan. Franklin D. Roosevelt and a group of scientists were in the midst of producing a nuclear weapon that can destroy a whole city. Leslie Groves is under the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and Robert Oppenheimer is the director of the Los Alamos Laboratory. They are the main designers of these bombs.
We must be alarmed by the Japanese buildup. It seems if we don't do something quickly, our country will be in great danger again. We can't have another incident like the attack on Pearl Harbor.
We believe that this bomb can end World War II for good, and that Japan will surrender immediately. I am very concerned about high American estimates of probable casualties. I met with Wright and Shockley yesterday. They estimated approximately about 1.7 to 4 million casualties of such a scenario, of whom 400,000 to 800,000 would be dead.
Henry. I'm contemplating the use of such a weapon that is readily available and which assuredly can decrease the cost of American lives.
We have considered using biological weapons such as poison gas, mustard gas, and tear gas instead of the use of nuclear weapons.
We used biological weapons in World War I. Why not use them again?
We believe dropping the bomb would bring less pain and deaths to our country. We can't have another attack.
I would like to produce a recording, or per se, leaflets of the warning to the Japanese. We will send the recording days prior.
During recent weeks, I was thinking of letting Russia and the United Kingdom be aware of the use of the atomic bomb.
I would suggest not telling Russia and the United Kingdom because this is such a serious weapon we have created. We cannot let this get out of hand.
Ever since I've been in touch with this program, I had a feeling that before the bomb would be dropped on Japan, they would have some preliminary warning, for say 2 or 3 days before use.
Did former President Roosevelt ever consider a full invasion on Japan?
The interim committee and I believe in full invasion would be much worse and the consequences would be harsh.
Why would there be more consequences?
We believe that it would kill more innocent people in the Japanese cities and kill thousands of our troops. As the United States of America, we cannot risk losing more troops on the battlefield. We've already lost so many at Normandy.
Nazi Germany has just recently surrendered, signing an unconditional surrender, ending European conflict.
Germany was our original surrender, but they had just surrendered. Japan is still refusing to surrender. They keep on fighting back. They will not stop.
Thank you, Henry. I will discuss this further with you. I must think of my decision. At 5:29 a.m. on the 16th of July, the test bomb was successfully dropped, but the decision has not yet been made. The scientists of the Manhattan Project removed themselves exactly 10,000 yards away to observe the first mushroom cloud of searing light, stretching 40,000 feet into the air and generating a destructive power of 20,000 tons of TNT.
Sir, I will not let you down over this program. Our $6,000 original budget has been turned into billions. It is up to you now. The massive destruction of Japan is now in your hands.
America is depending on me and my decision whether or not to drop this nuclear weapon. So now I've made my decision. We will drop this bomb on the Japanese, and there will be no turning back. We will plan on the dropping of Little Boy on August 6th. Thank you, Henry, for all of your help. America is thankful for all of your doings. After the American bomber, Enola Gay, dropped the first atomic bomb over the two Japanese cities, killing around 100,000 people, the Japanese surrendered exactly 6 days later and formally signed their surrender on September 2nd of 1945, bringing hostilities of World War II to a close.